when will it become a buyer's market? That's the one question we're starting to hear more and more these days. So I wanted to shoot this quick video kind of talking about the market and how we could potentially shift from a seller's market to a buyer's market in the future. So before we hop into this video, I wanted to just go through a seller's market and a buyer's market one more time. And if this is the first time you're watching my channel, I've actually done a more in-depth video about the difference of the two, but I want to walk you through that real quick. So if you remember, 6 months worth of inventory on the market is about an equilibrium point that a lot of people will use as a baseline to determine seller's market and a buyer's market. Anything greater than 6 months worth of inventory is considered a buyer's market. Anything less than 6 months is considered a seller's market. Here in Las Vegas right now, we probably have 1 to 2 months worth of inventory on the market. So you can see we're at an extreme seller's market. If there was nothing else that came on the market for 30 days, we'd have nothing to sell out here in Vegas. That's how hot and busy this market is right now. And remember, in a seller's market, inventory is low, and that only drives up prices. And that's what we've been seeing for the last several years. But in a buyer's market, what we will see is more inventory and prices will come down. And that's the one thing that a lot of people are gambling on, thinking that there's going to be some sort of correction or something's going to happen in the future to shift us from this to this so that they can essentially take advantage and get a cheaper priced home. So here's the $1 million question. How do we go from a seller's market to a buyer's market? And essentially, where is that inventory going to come from? So let's talk about that and point out a few things that could potentially happen that could create more inventory in the future. One of the first things that has been talked about, if interest rates go up, buying power will shrink. And of course, homes may potentially sit on the market for longer periods of time because buyers cannot afford to purchase homes that are maybe at the higher end of the price point in today's market. I've been looking at homes to purchase for myself here in Las Vegas, and I've been noticing a lot more price reductions almost every single day that come across my desk. So I think that's one indicator that we can pay attention to. Another thing to keep an eye on is forbearance. There's a lot of numbers about forbearance that should be coming up here in June that's really going to give us a good idea as to whether people are still continuing to make their payments or will they potentially go into foreclosure. Now, a lot of people are guessing that there's going to be this huge wave of foreclosures, but I don't think the number is going to be as big that a lot of people are assuming. That's why we need to pay close attention to the numbers that they're going to be putting out this month. And for those of you that love statistics and love to read these types of numbers, I would check out a website called blackknight.com. They keep an eye on all the forbearances that are going on. And I believe the number is about 700,000 to 800,000 forbearances that should be coming due here in June. So that's a big key as to how things are going to be moving forward here in the future. And number 3, I think you'll have some sellers that will panic sell. I think what you'll start to see as sellers see other sellers having price reductions or maybe homes sitting on the market longer, I think you'll have some people that'll feel like, you know what, this might have been the height of the market. We need to reduce the price of our home in order to sell it. So I think if you start to see some people doing that, that's going to lead to more inventory. And I think you're going to get more buyers coming out of the woodworks wanting to purchase because of that simple indication. Like I said, even for myself, I've been keeping an eye on certain homes here in Las Vegas, and I'm starting to see price reductions, which is only getting me more excited because I know that there is potentially a deal coming my way soon. So like I've talked about in some of my other videos, patience is key, guys. If you're on the sidelines and you've been waiting, trying to time this market, I think you have to make sure you do your research, run your numbers, know what you can qualify for, know what your buy box is so you know exactly what would fit your criteria in order to purchase a home. But I think these 3 things here are things to definitely keep in mind as you're looking at the market, determining whether or not it's a good time for you to purchase, or do you continue to sit on the sidelines and maybe wait another year or two to see how things play out. Because even though forbearances will be coming due this month, that doesn't necessarily mean the bank's going to foreclose on them day one, right? They still have to go through the foreclosure process, which could take maybe even up to another year or so before those homes actually hit the market. So again, this is where now you start doing your homework, understanding your numbers, understanding what's going on in the housing market and in the economy, so that way you can put yourself in a good position to purchase, and maybe, you know what, you time it right and you get an amazing deal on a house. So if you're thinking of buying and you haven't talked to a lender yet, don't forget, that's what we're here for. We can help you get qualified, run some numbers, and figure out what you can get pre-approved for. Send me an email. We can hop on a quick call. We can get you a link to our online application and get the process started and figure out where you stand in a matter of 24 to 48 hours. So we make the process super easy for you folks, so that way you get a better idea of what's out there for you. So thanks for watching this video, and I hope to see you on the next one.